All right, let's begin. So what we have here is we have one of these glass making torches. The way we have it set up, it uses propane and it uses oxygen. It has two knobs. And so below the table, you see down here we have a propane tank. Turn that on. And then up here we have an oxygen tank. And it's got about 15 psi or so. And this knob right here should be open, and that's what goes to the torch. Next, we have a brand new kiln here. This kiln, you can open this way, and then when you have a glass bead, you can just simply open up the door and slide your glass bead in. It's top of the line, really nice. And this thing will heat up to a certain temperature, and the reason why you need the kiln is because if you just let it air cool, it'll crack. So, all right, let's go over lighting the torch. Also, for safety, we have two of these special types of glasses. They're about $60, and they filter the light and make it easier to see the flame. So be careful of these. As far as lighting goes, make sure that your striker works. And I'm going to go ahead and light the propane. Well, first, make sure both knobs are closed lightly. So they're both closed clockwise lightly. Then I'm going to turn on the propane. So once you have that, increase it, but you don't want to increase it so much that the flame jumps off. See right in this area, the flame has jumped off, so that's too much. So once you have there, then you want to increase the oxygen now. So see right there how it's coming off? That's not good. So now what you can do is you can put in more propane and then more oxygen. That's about as high as we would go. Turn off both knobs. So let me do it again. So propane and then oxygen comes on second. Be a little more propane, a little more oxygen. That should be good. All right, the next is we have this stuff here called it's called Bead Separator. Bead Separator. And the reason why you want to use this stuff is because when you put glass on a rod like this, like a stainless steel rod, you want it to come off easily once the bead cools down. And if it doesn't come off easily, it's going to crack. So you mix this up, this bead separator, and it kind of looks like a milkshake. It has the consistency of that. So you can see this one is done. I'll let this kind of dry over here, and we can dry it with a flame too. So these are just stainless steel rods. And so I'm just going to simply dip it in here and mix around a little bit. And that should be enough. All right, so I got 3 rods with this stuff called a bead separator. And I'm being mindful not to set this in front of the flame, so I'm not going to be burning anything. Now let's talk about the glass for a second here. Glass comes, well, in many shapes and sizes, but in our shop, we are going to be using glass rods. And glass has a COE number. And like it'll say COE 96 or COE 103. And I'm not a total expert, but I've just been told that it's best not to mix up different glass COE numbers. So these are different. It's from Rio Grande. These ones are kind of thin, but you'll see it says 96 COE. So there's little labels on there. But anyways, let's get started. Let's talk about what happens if you don't heat it right. So here we go. Light the torch. All right. Got some propane. Adding my oxygen. Be a little more propane. All right. I'm going to put on my glasses. And I'm first just going to get this bead separator nice and dry. Now, let's talk about the glass for a second here. If you just stick this glass rod in the flame, it's going to crack, and that is not good. So, for example, if I put it right here in the flame, it's going to probably crack. Of course, this one's not doing it. But what you want to do is you want to warm the glass slowly, and once it's warm, it won't crack. That's important. Next thing is I'm going to be holding my, it's kind of hard for the camera, but I'm going to be holding my my rod with my left hand, and I'm going to be turning it away from me. So, so here's my glass. And so I'm going to start to rotate my rod. See, it's kind of getting drippy here. So now I'm rotating my rod away from me. And so you can see I got some glass on there. Right? And so keep doing that. If you mess up, it might fall to the ground and drip, but that's okay. It's not like it's a big danger or anything. All right, so I got some glass on here. I got a little bead. What else could I do to this bead? Let me first get it round. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I could put some dots on it if I want. Carefully heat this one up here. This is a white one. I'll attach a little dot to this guy. One dot. Two dots. So I have some different colored now dots on there that is going to add to it. And then if I want, I could even make this be a square. The way you can do that is you can can bring it down here, and I can press it on here, press it here. So this one now I can make it be kind of a flat. So I could shape it. It's kind of off center, but that's okay. But I could still get it back on center. I could just get it warm. And so you kind of can play with it like this. And if you don't like it, you can just remelt it. If you want it to be hotter, you can go down here where it's hotter. And I could shape it. Now it's more square-like. And then when you think you're done, just open up the door and put it in our really nice kiln. Right there, just slide that guy in. They do have some other stuff I've used with mixed success. I forgot what it's called, but it's basically this fireproof insulation. And if you really insulate it really well, it might not crack, but the professionals use this kiln. At least I think it's a very controllable. Maybe I'll do it again here and see. All right, so once you got it warmed up, you can really go closer without it cracking. I feel like this stainless steel rod is bent. It is bent. It's not really good. Yeah, this is a bent stainless steel rod, so I'm gonna put this one down. Let's see, this one's straight. And you could shape it if you want. If I want to put a color on it, like green. Okay. Oh, see that cracked off there? I didn't heat it slowly enough. Now, nice and slow. Put a nice dot right there. So, that's it. That's like the basics. So remember now, as far as shutting down goes, we want to do propane first, oxygen second, really lightly because these have O-rings in them. Um, you want to put the lid on this tightly. And then, if you're the last one, close down the oxygen tank, which is about $80 if you forget there's a leak. And then down here, propane. And then just to really clean up your area, really nice and clean. I'm gonna buy some more torches too, and they have these. You might have seen them. They look like the size. It's like a disposable can at Home Depot that's about 3 inch in diameter and like 10 inches long. We use it for blacksmithing to light up the forge, And they sell one of those that actually works for glass making. So you actually could get into glass making for. You buy the glasses for maybe, I don't know how cheap they are. Maybe they're $30, and the torch is $30, and you could get into it pretty cheap at home. if you got some money to burn. Start up a little shop. All right, cool. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. Anyone have any questions?